And for anyone who cannot join us today, as they can, we're gonna share the video link after this Q&A session. Okay, and then the third item is grant application procedure, which I will walk you through briefly the grant application online. And then we'll have a Q&A session for 15 minutes. And last, we'll have a feedback survey and close. Okay. So first of all, I know some of you are new to our organization and our grant opportunities. So let me take just a few minutes to introduce ourselves. Our organization called Civic Leadership USA, CLUSA. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan educational organization. So it's so our organization is incorporated in Washington D.C. In 2013 and headquartered in San Mateo, California. And our goal is to empower and engage, train and connect API civic leaders for a fair and harmonious society with diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. So now we will play 2 short videos to let you know more about our organization and our grant opportunity. So I'm gonna stop sharing here, and if you're ready.
The mission of Civil Leadership Forum is to empower leaders in the local level, state level, and federal level as government workers, also in the executive branch, judicial branch, and legislative branch as elected officers, starting from Asian America and expand beyond the whole population of the United States.
If you want to go fast, fly alone. But if you want to go far, fly together. Join us.
Well, I'm proud to be here to help Asian American candidates learn and prepare for office and appointments and mobilize.
That's just some of the things that we've done in order to ensure that our civic rights are upheld.
If you're not on the table, you're on the menu.
And we need to encourage young people to seek office.
You're the best and brightest in that competitive field.
We do that for our families. You can do that for the community. That's what civic engagement is all about.
And it's very important right now to go ahead and advocate for our community.
The idea is to train the next generation to get involved in the civic service.
Getting together, find one other person to speak, or invite some speakers on every subject. They're providing election, providing appointment, and providing how to move up within the government.
You want to become a leader, so you just needed those kind of the motivation, and so that program is provided a tool to get there.
One of the most important things that can happen is that when people learn what's going on, they go back to their communities and inform their constituents and friends about what's going on in Washington.
Their influence on policies of the United States as relates to Asians around the world.
Have now built this organization into something like 23 chapters across the country.
We would like to have a great United States of America.
We have another video for our grant opportunities. Thank you, Wen. Let me share my screen. Um, thank you for watching the videos just played. Sorry for the information a little bit, old, but we really loved the very cute video our intern created for us. So as you can see, we have different grant opportunities, including the one we're gonna talk about today, and also our Civic Leadership Forum grant, our capacity building grant, our other like tech support grant or media support grants. So if you want to know more about those grant opportunities, please visit our website or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm gonna send you presentation today in PDF file after the meeting. So if you miss anything, don't worry. So now let's go to the next item is to talk about our 2021 Public Service Internship Program Grant, RFP guidelines. So first of all, I want to say that the grant objectives are, again, is to build a strong relationship between government and our API community. And then the second is to train, empower, and connect API students in civic engagement. And then the third one is the ultimate goal is to develop API leaders and build a pipeline running for elected offices. So the scope of our grant is from $2,000 to $10,000 with one-to-one matching requirements. And then for the return grantee with regional or national scope and successful track records, the grant will be from $10,000 to $5,000 with one-to-one matching requirement as well. So means 50% of your program expenses will be, you will be responsible for that at least. So it can be from your membership fee or your fundraising events or individual donations or corporation donations, which through your local community. Okay, so the proposal deadline and the review process. So the proposal submission deadline will be 5 p.m. Pacific time, April 30th, 2021. And then after the deadline, we will have a peer review committee use the same review criteria to we'll assign proposals to each committee members to review the proposal individually, give scores and comments, and then we'll have a meeting, Zoom meeting once or twice to discuss if there's a big discrepancy between reviewers for certain proposals. And then we'll generate a report to our board for approval or rejection based on the peer review committee's report. And then we'll announce grant awards on June 1st, 2021. So the success of your grant application will be, submit your proposal online by our deadline with all required information. And then I will talk about the review criteria later in our presentation. And then the eligibility. So if you are 501c3 nonprofit organization, or if you have a 501c3 nonprofit organization as your physical agent, you're eligible to apply for our grant. And then the procedure will be first, you need to register and create an online account for your organization by providing required information. And then using that online account to fill out the grant application. I will walk you through the procedure later. And then the criteria, the review criteria will be first, your program goals align with our grant goals. We just mentioned before, to build a strong relationship between government and your community, and then to develop students in civic engagement, and then to build API leader, a pipeline of API leaders in public sector. And then the second criteria is measurable benchmarks and clear deliverables. So in your application, we want to see if you have a measurable, excuse me, benchmarks, such as, how many students are gonna participate in your 2021 program, how many hours of requirement for your internship, where like how many trainings you're gonna provide to your students, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll use that to measure your program success as well. So the third one will be your program needs to have 2 or more program leaders. We have a more detailed definition in our application form. Basically, we see the role of the program leaders, one as a program organizer, who's in charge of build a relationship between government offices or government agencies with your organization, and finding internship placements, and also organizing fundraising events or other events, and graduation ceremonies. And then the next leader will be in charge of students training to provide needed training for prepare the students to do a better job a good job in their internship, or in their civic engagement journey. What we have seen is organizations providing professionalism training, like office etiquette, or the government, U.S. government 101, or specific training for their internship job. Some organizations even provide policy advocacy training, or how to run campaign training. So those really can teach and train and inspire students in let them know what they can do to contribute. Okay, and then the number 4 is we would like your program have 5 or more students to participate in your program, and with your students recruiting criteria. And then number 5 is the students training, as I mentioned. If you have a well-defined students training plan. And number 6 is solid internship placement. So internship placement in any level of government offices or government agencies, and also government-related projects. So by talking about government-related projects, this is actually an alternative to our original government internship placement. So it's due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many government offices cannot provide internship opportunities in their offices, even online, due to lack of hands or many other challenges. But there is still a strong need for the government offices for community support. So so a government-related project is a project endorsed and supported by a government, a local, regional, state or federal level government offices or government agencies. So the projects can help the government to do research, to gather information, or do community outreach, or other creative projects. by doing the government-related projects, the organization can still build a strong relationship between government and your organization, your community, and still train and empower our API students in civic engagement. So, so it's just due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen organizations facing these challenges. So we give this alternative in our 2021 RFP guidelines. And the solid means the internship placement is meaningful. It really do something to help the government work, and same time the student can learn from the work, the internship work. And then number 7 is clear budget planning with 50% matching ability. And last is, capacity and impact building through graduation ceremony, through fundraising events, or through some other civic engagement events. Like last year, I know many organizations did census outreach and voter registration, voter education, online events, which can really help your organizations to promote yourself, to build a network, to find more financial and human resource support from your community. Okay, and then after we, got approval for your grant application, we will send you a monitoring plan, and we would like you to keep close communication with us. Let us know how your program goes, if there's any change during your program. And then a interim report, it's not have to be formal. It's just like an email letting us know how everything goes. And then we do have a, online form similar to our application form. You use the same login account to go on our website and find out the final narrative report template and the financial report templates, etc. So that's our internship program grant RFP guidelines. And then, okay, so at this point, I would like to mention, excuse me. So we know some organizations such as PAPA and UCA are has a national scope with many chapters. So using the same 501c3, that in that case, the chapters need to apply for our grants through your national team or your headquarters. So make sure you submit your application directly to your headquarters before deadline. Actually, give enough time for your headquarters to put everything together. If there's anything missing, so you have time to add the information to your application, and make sure submit the deadline before the make sure submit your application before our deadline to allow us to review your proposal. We will not review any late or incomplete proposal after our deadline. And then if you are new to our grant, you don't know if your student program meeting our grant requirements, feel free to contact us, and but we would like to assist you. We would like to know your program and assist you through our application. So I have my email address on my background. Feel free to email me. And then just briefly walk you through our grant application procedure. So you can go to our website at celusa.org, and then if you click participate on top of our website page, and you can see the grant application, and click that, it will lead you to the grant application page. And then the first one is our public service internship grant. We have two small blue icons here. One is the grant introduction, which is actually what I just present to you, our RFP guidelines. And then the other icon is our grant application preview. So you can see the application form for your reference. And if you are start to apply for our grant, you click the apply, the pale blue bar on the bottom, and it will lead you to this register or login page. If you already have an account created on our website, you just enter your account name and password and log in. If you are first-time applicant, you need to register your organization, as I mentioned before. So you click register, it will lead you to this register page. And then you put your account name, whatever you want, and then the password. And then your organization information down below. So what we need, I want to point out, is your 501c3 evidence, or if you are not a 501c3, but you do have a 501c3 nonprofit organization as your physical agent, you upload their 501c3 evidence into the MOU between the two of you. And I want to mention this board member information. The record is a little, you need to pay attention to the instruction first, which is you need to click the plus button on the right with the right arrow to add each of your board members' information. And then after you add your board members' information, you need to click the check mark in the front of each record to save that. Otherwise, it won't be saved. Sorry for the inconvenience. So after you fill out the registration form, you just click submit, and you're ready to, you already have your account created on our website. And then you go to this login page again and enter your information and login. Then you can start the grant application. So on the bottom, if you can see on my screen right now, it has two red arrows. The lower one is again the RFP guidelines I just explained to you. And then the upper one is the grant application form. If you click the upper one, it will lead you to our grant application form. So I want to emphasize is, so basically all the questions are correlated to our grant guidelines. As I mentioned, the criteria, our grant goals, how you think you will achieve our grant goals, like build a strong relationship or train students. So make sure to click the save button on the bottom to save every time when you leave each page, and then go to the next page or leave the entire, to log off. So when you come back, everything will be saved there. But if you don't save, your records will be lost. So make sure to click save. And then for the internship placement, it's similar to the board member information. You need to click the plus button on the right to add each of your internship placements. Then click the check
对，
mark.
我在听了一个叫 Civic Leadership。
Can everyone mute yourself while,
Sorry.
It's okay. No problem. And then for the program budget, we do have a budget template for you to fill out. So if you can see in the red circle, there's a blue sentence. You click this blue sentence, it will lead you to this budget template. So on the upper part of the budget template is your project income. You can put your individual donations or corporation donations, grants, including CLUSA grants you want to apply, and other grants, and like fundraising, incomes, membership incomes, or interest earned if you have endowment fund, you have interest earned every year, and can for your program you can put in here. If you don't have those income, you can just leave it blank. And then the lower part of the template is your program expenses. So you can fill out your program expenses there too. Okay, so that's pretty much, yeah, for the registration and application. So now I would like to hear from you. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to speak out loud, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Okay. Any questions?
Excuse me. This is Stephanie. I do have a question because I'm pretty new for the program. I don't have a lot of information in the past. For example, if one of the organization, they apply for this grant to do the activity, and then they do all kind of different things that student to involve the activity. One thing I want to know is this internship for the they only work on this activity, or we can help them find a position in different the specific position in the different government level. This is one thing I'm a little bit confused. Is this we will let the student find example for the court or for the government office or something like that, or like they just join in the internship, work with the organization to do the different events or like do things. Can you clarify that?
Sure. That's a great question. So basically, the program needs to provide or first find government internship opportunities and provide those opportunities to the students you recruit. So it's like you can recruit students, high school students or college students from your local community, train them, and then send them to the government offices or agencies to do internship there. And through doing the internship work, you can give opportunity to the students to learn how government works and inspire them to be more civic engaged. And maybe in the future, they want to run for office themselves, or they want to work in the government to contribute to the community. And the other activities your organization will have is totally fine and encouraged to let your students participate as well. If your organization plan for some other civic engagement activities, such as civic leadership forum, like a civic education. I've seen organizations asking their students to organize forum to their community, to to teach the community about civic engagement, about U.S. government, about legislative process, or certain policy researches, where they can make videos for those purpose. That's totally fine and great for us. But the major theme of our grant is to support students to work in government offices. And as I mentioned, if there's difficulty in finding government internship in office, we can also accept government-related projects, as I mentioned before. So did I answer your question?
Oh yeah, it's clear. But like one thing, it's like you last mentioned the position. If like this is the organization's responsibility to help a student to connect to find the like a position. The worst case, if they really don't have, we can find some related places. That means. Because I mean, like, of course, organization will try their best to do, but like only since like this year, like a special situation, if a lot of office they are not open yet, so like do you have any suggestion or like where we can maybe get the places for the student?
Okay, that's a good question. Many organizations had been asking me this similar questions too. So that is why we give every organization enough time to prepare the program. If you already have some relationship or connection built between the government offices where elected officials, and you can offer help if they need any help. For example, one of our grantee organization, they have a newly elected mayor, asking them to help her to do the social media work. And that's one example. So the program leaders can reach out to those government offices where staff and asking offer help, and then it's a win-win situation. It's not like they just help us to provide an internship opportunity, but we also, our students will be trained and to work to help them. And also in your local area, we encourage you to collaborate with other organizations who might already have a very good relationship with governments to help you finding placements. And if you do have a great difficulty, you want to reach out, and you're also welcome to reach out to us and let us see if we know anyone in your area, and we can connect you for help. But if you don't find any internship placement in any level of government offices or agencies, or even a project you can find endorsed by government or supported by the government, then it's not meeting our grant criteria. You can also search our other grant opportunities. As I mentioned, we have a Civic Leadership Forum grant, which is to provide a civic leadership forum in your area, in your community, which we also have grant to support those programs.
Oh, thank you. Last question. It's I see the granting. It's like it's a half, like 50% fundraised by their own. This their like you put 2,000. That's a minimum. Like they need a raise by their own, or they have. I just want to check. Is this have minimum requirement for the grant?
We don't have a minimal requirement of, but we do have a 50-50 matching requirement. Say if you want to spend $4,000 and then you apply the half from us, and then the other half you need to find either other grants, or you want to fundraise from your local communities, or there's a corporation donations.
Oh, I see. So even though if like we cannot have like a high amount, like example, they only have 1,000, but like they just got match the 1,000, but it's still okay to do this program, right?
Yeah. If you only want to spend like 1,000 or even just 500, it's okay to us.
Yeah.
I see Anthony want to say something. Anthony, do you want to chime in?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just want to answer her question. The range of the grants are just for reference. It is not mandatory. As Qingbai just explained, the only requirement for us is like we would like to see you have the matching capability. Whether the amount is $200, $500, $1,000, it's really up to your decision. We just have that one requirement that you match 50%. So some of the organization actually doesn't even need the money. They actually provide as a service to the intern. And some organization, I actually understand the intern pay the money to the organization to be trained, which is perfectly okay to us, because from the previous example, some organization actually have the intern to come up with the match themselves, instead of for the organizer to do it which also acceptable to us. We don't dictate anyway, but rather it's like for the organization have the capability to raise their own money, because we supposed to be coming as a catalyst. We don't want to create a dependency, so that you can grow up and be a stronger organization by what you're doing. I hope this answer some of your questions.
Thank you. So because I think the purpose we ask for, it's not like just for get the grant to do the job, because I know we already have some connection with the high school. Maybe you already know the high school, they might have the civic engagement club. So we already have the well-trained the high school student. They do the civic job like all the volunteer base. They already do for years. So this is why I think even though they don't have any grant, they already know, they attend a lot of like seminars and then trainings. So they are really qualified to send them directly match the position for internship. This is why I ask for. So like basically the organization, even though don't need a lot of event education or something, they already have the foundation. So we don't need the money. We can send them directly to right position. This is what I'm asking for.
Yeah, absolutely. You are right on, because that's why we call this not just an internship program, it's a public service internship program, so that you can extend the knowledge each of the organization. Because remember, the first objective we have for this program is to build relationship between local government and local civic organization. So by doing this, you build a bridge. So the student will act as an ambassador of your community.
Thank you so much. That's why I think answer my all questions. So if we really apply, we can make a note of what type of things, how we want to do. We can explain really briefly, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony, for helping answer the question. We really do see as not only a grant making organization, but also a platform or to help people connect, because we have so many partners and grantee organizations working together with us across the country and from different ethnic backgrounds. So we really would love to see young leaders developed by these organizations can be connected and share their experience. Actually, we do offer, like last year, we offered 5 students training webinars online, to invite keynote speakers and panelists to talk about different areas in civic engagement, which really inspire many students in their civic engagement life. And this year we also gonna have many great webinars, and we will have a orientation and in the beginning of June. I think pretty much like June 5th, but we're still planning it. So we'll invite API elected officials or community leaders, especially young leaders, to share their experience and the projects they are doing. So the students can see their peers are what they are doing in civic engagement, and they can do the similar thing. Yeah. Okay. So and then we'll also have a National Civic Leadership Forum in September, which we'll plan to have a students track as well, where students can present what they have done in civic engagement. It's also a good opportunity for students to inspire one another. Um, so any other questions? I heard someone. There's no other questions. If you have any questions after, you are welcome to reach out to us, and we're happy to assist you, as I mentioned, by either setting up a phone call or Zoom meeting or emails. Anyway, we see all of you as our partners. We just work together to develop our younger generation. Okay, so the the next step will be we would like you to fill out a feedback form for us to help us improve our work. I don't know. When can you help me put the survey form link?
Yeah, I just post the survey form link in the chat window.
Thank you. Thank you. So please take 1 minute to fill out the form for us, which can really help us improve our work. Thank you. And as I said, I will send the presentation in PDF file to all of you. And we'll also post our presentation video probably in our website. So if anyone wants to watch this Q&A session, if they missed today or the one we had last Saturday, please feel free to share the link to them and yeah. We're well on time. It's 11:57. If there's no more question for now, we'll close the Q&A session. Oh, sorry. Anthony, do you want to say something? Do you want to add anything here?
Sure. Let me turn it on. Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining this Q&A. And I hope that the process helped you along the way in filling up the application, because at some time it can be very tedious. But those information are all very important for us to get this program to a better shape, and also in a better way to serve the community together with all your service. So all I want to say is thank you for your partnership in raising up the younger generation and engage the civic with like your training, your dedication, and I hope that at some point we will be able to meet in person after the COVID-19, and then we can celebrate and share with what we have learned from each part of the country, and then we can do it together. As you all realize, the reason like anti-hate crime towards Asian are escalating. We need more people can be articulate and voice out and helping each other. So I applaud all your work, because those younger generation, it is our future, and we hope for a better America. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll end the meeting, and hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Qingbai. Thank you, Wan Yuan, and everybody.
Yeah, thank you,
Have a
Wen.
nice
Have a good
weekend.
weekend.
So